Classification of audit. Classification of audit is divided into on the basis of conduct of audit, on the basis of specific objectives, on the basis of degree of independence, and on the basis of organizational structure. Again, on the basis of conduct of audit, audit may be classified into the following types. They are continuous audit, final audit, balance sheet audit, interim audit, partial audit, occasional audit. First we will discuss continuous audit. Continuous audit is where the auditor and his staff are constantly engaged in checking the accounts during the entire financial period or at the regular or irregular intervals during the period. Generally, large companies where bulk transactions were involved will be subjected to continuous audit. Next one, final audit. Final audit is an audit where the auditor takes up his work of checking the books of accounts at the end of the accounting period, when the transactions for the whole year are completely recorded and the financial statements have been prepared. Final account is adopted by almost all concerns. At the same time, this type of audit is more suitable for small concerns. Next, balance sheet audit. Balance sheet audit is a type of audit which concentrates mainly on the verification of the items in the balance sheet, such as capital, reserves and provisions, profit and loss account, assets and liabilities of the business, etc. At the same time, it may be noted that in case of balance sheet audit work commences from the balance sheet, working back to the books of original entry and documentary evidences. Balance sheet audit is quite suitable for small and medium sized business units. It is also quite effective in those business big concerns which have a good internal control system and qualified accountants. Next one, interim audit. It is a kind of audit which is done between the two annual audits. At the same time, it is suitable for those companies which wants to declare interim dividend. At the same time, there are some advantages for this. The final audit can be completed very soon if there have been an interim audit. Errors and frauds can be detected easily and quickly. At the same time, it imposes a moral check on the staff of the client. Next one, partial audit. Partial audit is a kind of audit where the work of auditor is curtailed. For instance, auditor may be asked to check only the cash book to detect misappropriation of cash. It may be noted that partial audit is not permitted in case of companies. Last one, occasional audit. Occasional audit is a kind of audit which is not conducted on a regular basis and it is not suitable for joint stock companies. Next, on the basis of specific objectives, audit may be classified into the following types. They are cash audit, cost audit, management audit, special audit, operational audit, performance audit, and proprietary audit. First one, cash audit. Cash audit is a type of audit under which only the cash receipts and payments are audited in detail by the auditor. It may be noted that partial audit is not permitted in case of companies. Next one, cost audit. Cost audit is an independent and critical examination of the various records maintained by the company by the cost auditor to ascertain whether cost of the product manufactured by the company have been correctly determined in accordance with the correct costing principles. Next, management audit. In management audit, the auditor examines the policies and the actions of management to ensure that there is a proper and maximum utilization of available resources. Next one, special audit. In special audit, when the affairs of the company are not being managed according to the sound of business principles, the central government is empowered to appoint a special auditor to audit the company's working and its state of affairs. Such audit is known as special audit. Next one, operational audit. Operational audit involves intelligent examination of the various operations of the different functional areas of the business. At the same time, it observing the weaknesses, lapses, inefficiencies in operations and suggesting ways for strengthening the system. Next one, performance audit. Performance audit is a procedure for analyzing the profits and losses at different economic activities carried on by a business unit. Examining the relationship between production and sales and discovering the avenues for maximizing profits. Last one, proprietary audit. Proprietary audit is carried out with the objective of ascertaining that contracts entered into with the third parties are in the best interest of the concern, and there is a system which ensures the safety of assets of a concern. Next one, on the basis of degree of independence, audit may be classified into the following. First one, independent or external audit, and second one, internal audit. Independent or external audit. External auditors are independent firms that inspect the accounts of an entity and render an opinion on whether its statements conform to GAAP and present fairly the financial position of the company and the results of operation. The external auditor's primary obligation is to users of financial statements outside the organization. External auditors are required to register with ISO 9000. Next one, internal audit. Internal audit. Internal auditing considers the examination, monitoring, and analysis of activities related to a company's operation, including its business structure, employee behavior, and information systems. Although accounting is an important skill for an internal auditor, the focus for internal auditors is the evaluation of operational, risk management, internal control, and the governance processes of the organization. An internal audit is designed to review what a company is doing in order to identify potential threats to the organization's health and profitability, and to make suggestions for mitigating the risk associated with those threats in order to minimize the costs. Next one, on the basis of organizational structure, audit may be classified into the following types. They are statutory audit, voluntary audit, government audit. First one, statutory audit. Statutory audit refers to the audit of accounts of a business unit compulsorily under the provisions of statute or law. Further, statutory audit is carried out in a number of organizations such as joint stock companies, banking companies, insurance companies, etc. Features of statutory audit. Statutory audit is compulsory under law. At the same time, statutory audit is an independent audit. It is an external audit. It can be complete audit or full audit. Statutory audit cannot be partial audit. At the same time, statutory auditor is required to serve the interest of the owners and not the interest of the management. At the same time, the rights, duties and liabilities of an auditor or governed by the statute. Therefore, they cannot be restricted. It should be conducted by the qualified auditor. Next one, private or voluntary auditor means where the audit is not compulsory under any statute, but it is undertaken by the owners voluntarily to get the benefits of audit. Such audit is known as private or voluntary audit. Further, the organizations which adopt private audit are sole trading concerns, partnership firms, and other individuals. Last one, government audit. Government audit refers to the audit of accounts of a government departments and offices, government companies, and statutory corporations. Features of government audit. Government audit is undertaken either by the Controller and Auditor General of India and his staff or professional chartered accountants approved by the Controller and Auditor General of India. Government audit can be considered as an internal audit. At the same time, government audit is a sort of continuous audit as it is conducted continuously throughout the year. Government auditor checks the existence of stocks and stores and their valuation and ensures that there is proper system of stock taking. He also examines whether the payment has been sanctioned by the competent authority and such payment is not excessive and it is made to the right person. He makes suggestions to proper authority for improvements in the rules and regulations for greater efficiency and economy. Government audit. Government audit is applicable to government departments and departmental undertakings. Government of India maintains a separate department known as Accounts and Audit Department. Controller and Audit General of India heads this department. In India, the President appoints the Controller and Audit General of India under Article 149 of the Constitution, which gives the powers and rights and fixes his responsibility for the audit of government departments and institutions. Government audit is divided into several branches like defense, railways, posts and telegraph audit. It works only the government offices and departments. This department cannot undertake audit of non-government concerns. Its working is strictly according to government rules and regulations. When the government gets the accounts of its departments and other organizations run by its checked, it is known as government audit. A separate department is maintained by Government of India, which is known as Accounts and Audit Department. A report is presented before the government after audit. Government audit includes audit of accounts of the central government, audit of accounts of state government, audits of accounts of local self-government, and audit of accounts of government companies. Next, objectives of government audit. The objectives of government audits are to make sure that the expenditure is incurred out of the fund which the competent authority has sanctioned. At the same time, to verify that the expenditure of the government department is sanctioned as per the rules and regulations of the department concerned. To see that the expenditure already sanctioned has been incurred by an officer who is authorized to do so. To ensure that the payments have been made to the right persons and they are duly entered in the books on the basis of receipts received from them. To see that the payments have been properly classified into capital and revenue. To check the existence of stock and stores and their proper valuation. At the same time, to ensure that expenditures have been incurred in the interest of the public. To ensure that stock taking is done periodically and stock registers are maintained up to date. To ensure that whether money due from others have been regularly recovered while verifying the receipts. So these are the objectives of government audit. Next one, secretarial audit. Secretarial audit is compliance audit. It is a part of total compliance management in the organization. The secretarial audit is an effective tool for corporate compliance management. It helps to ensure timely corrective measures when non-compliance is detected. As per Section 204 of the Companies Act 2013, read with Companies Rules 2014, following companies are required to obtain a secretarial audit report from independent practicing company secretary. First one, every listed company. Second one, every public company having a paid up share capital of 50 crore rupees or more. And last one, every public company having a turnover of 250 crore rupees or more. Next, power to secretarial auditor. The Companies Act 2013 has empowered secretarial auditor and has given him all the rights and powers as given to statutory auditor. As per Section 204 of the Companies Act 2013, the secretarial auditor shall be entitled to require from the officers of the company such information and explanation as he may consider necessary for the performance of his duties as auditor. The secretarial auditor report shall annex with its board's report made in terms of subsection 3 of section 134 of the Companies Act 2013. Ministry of Corporate Affairs, by its circular number 8 or 2014 dated 4th April 2014, has clarified that board report of the company relating to financial year that commenced before 1st April 2014 shall be made in accordance with the relevant provisions of the Companies Act 1956. As the secretarial audit report is an annexure to board's report, thus the secretarial audit is not mandatory for financial year ended on 31st March 2014. This is all about the powers of secretarial auditor. Thank you.